everyone, this is Caroline, and for a while I've been wanting to make a video on how to have fun studying effectively. Now I've seen a lot of good videos recently on how to study better, and especially how not to procrastinate, in which I had already been 3 months ago. And also, the aesthetics of the videos that I've been seeing recently, they just slay. So I really felt inspired to make a video of how to study my way. So, without further ado, let's go. One thing I find really important while studying is finding a very studious place that makes you feel comfortable. And I would also pick my favorite spot. You don't want to have to stay at your living space all night long to get stuff done, unless you're working on an art project like I did last semester. I worked on one of my projects for a drawing class for 13 hours straight and went to bed at 2 a.m. in the morning. And that over there is my dorm that I just moved out of. Now you're going to want to pick a place that feels groovy and homey. Now you don't need to just pick a random ass library nearby. Go to fucking Barnes & Noble if you want. Now I go to the Science and Engineering complex at my place, and it is luxurious as hell. And the views are so beautiful, especially the inside of this building. The elevators are really tall and shiny, and there are 4 levels in this building. I usually study at the 4th floor because 1, I like to be at the very top of buildings, and 2, they have these really nice couch-looking chairs with tiny desks that you can put your stuff on. The furniture in all the levels of this building are just really funky and groovy. That's why I like to study here. At least that's one reason. It's also really helpful to create an agenda of subjects you need to get done before you go to your place and determine which assignments or projects are due sooner and how far you are in each, and prioritize those as you create an hour for each subject to get done. And as you sit down, listen to your favorite study music. If you're reading something, of course, no lyrics, but if you're just doing a project that doesn't require reading, then go ahead and listen to Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson or something. I personally listen to chill hop, lo-fi, world beats, and smooth jazz primarily while I'm doing my assignments, and Christoph Goes is my go-to artist while I'm studying. I pretty much have all of his songs. My dad and stepmother introduced me to the world beats and smooth jazz and everything, and I've been listening to those songs since I was about 7. And before I searched all of these songs on Spotify and put them in my dad and stepmother playlist, I hadn't listened to them for years, so I'm really pumped. By the way, I made a playlist of the songs I use on my YouTube channel on Spotify, so check it out there, link will be in the description. And look at my nails, I finally got into painting my nails on the day that this video was recorded. And this was a couple days before I am recording these voiceovers. What also works for me is that I use highlighters to color code my notes. Now, I thought highlighters wouldn't do a difference and that I didn't want to spend so much money anyway, and that's why I plan out my CVS trips to get exactly what I planned to buy in advance, so I wouldn't have to spend the money that I didn't plan in advance. So here's a rundown of how I highlight my notes. Pink is used for my module titles I write at the tops of my papers, and orange is used for my slide titles so I can find the paragraphs easier. Yellow is used for key terms and vocabulary, and blue is used for important sentences and or phrases that are likely to be on an exam. Before I actually show you guys my notes, I wanted to mention that I used to indent my notes into paragraphs that sometimes it would feel chaotic to read. So what really boosted me this semester was starting each line in the same place I began, because I often used to put undernotes close to the bigger bullet points. And even then, with those tiny bullet points of my undernotes, it would still look like a big ass essay to read. Now this is how I get it done. In case anyone wants to take any inspiration from these notes, feel young, wild, and free. One other thing that I like to do is look up a word that comes up on the slide that I don't know, or if I'm not familiar with it, and I feel that it might be helpful for taking a test. And then I put the definition on the side of my notes near the word that I wished to look up. There's also additional information that describes the diagrams of the slides, and I also put those there on the sides in case that something like that comes up on the test. This greatly helped me when I was taking a psychology class in my sophomore year, but back then we had textbooks. And you know the drill, I highlight the terms, important phrases, and sentences after I get done writing them. And at this time, it's 7:45 and I am ready to move on to my creativity project. I had to switch one of the subjects because I had an important exam that was coming up 2 days after recording this video. But at least I came up with really good ideas for my impressionism diagram now. You're gonna groan at me for saying this, but at least do your very best not to procrastinate. And this is all why you should pick your favorite plays and music to keep you going throughout the time you're studying. And if you're in college or maybe high school, choose courses that you feel you're gonna have at least some fun studying, and choose courses that will really motivate you to really get your assignments done. What I'm doing right now is for creativity and imagination, and that is the final module that I'm working on. The class was online, which I would typically hate online classes, but this class turned out to be really fun, even if there were some tough quizzes and there were some other easy quizzes for each module of the week. A lifestyle fashion channel that I recently subscribed to named Layla Tavas recently taught me that I should put a hairband around my phone to keep myself from looking at it a lot. Then sometimes, if I need to, I would ask questions to myself such as, wait, what am I using this for? How long am I going to be using this? Is this going to be beneficial to my assignments and projects? And if you didn't know, my mom got me that headband last year for my 21st birthday, and I vowed to myself to never lose it. Thank you, Mom. So here are the concept pictures for my project, and my theme is using a metamorphosis ball to transform it into different animals as an allegory of growing as a person and, of course, self-reinvention. I wanted to do the idea of being a fish out of water of the whole self-reinvention field of life, but it took quite some time to refine that idea because at first I had the fish in the water technically instead of out of the water. I would morph the fish into that playful flamingo and then morph that flamingo into this legendary lioness that really wants to make the world a better place. This is not the idea of social climbing at all, more like the idea of growing your spirit through more powerful animals as you progress. My spirit animal right now would definitely be a dolphin because I want to dive deep and branch out and be confident. Exam review time. Get your highlighters out, bitches. After sitting in one of my favorite cushion chairs for 2 hours, I would go on ahead and move to the table so I could get out my computer or do a more major assignment. I also like the tables. I like the high chairs, looking at the skies through the windows, especially the night skies. And as much as I can recall, I don't think I had a lot of back issues sitting on those low back chairs, which is really surprising. And that gives me more reason why I like to sit in those chairs as well. Now, what I did for the study guide was only putting down the answers instead of the questions and answers to save up time, because when I would write down all the definitions, the questions, and the answers, it would be so time consuming that last time I took my second exam in this class, I had to kind of rush a little to get everything down. And I did not do that again this time, thank God. So after just putting down the answers, I'll just review the definitions of each word without putting them down again, honestly because I have them highlighted in my earlier pages. And second, when you just answer the questions, most times you can understand the content when definitions are in many ways in the answers. And like I said earlier, side notes, even if they're not part of the main notes, can really help, but also because aesthetics and shit, man. Romanticize that shit, man. I promise you, you're gonna feel all preppy and organized and luxurious even with those notes. Now before I close out this video, you just gotta dance in your seat a couple times when a good song comes up. You really just get into that mood and relax while you study. And it actually takes the tension off your shoulders. I was probably listening to an upbeat Christoph Ghost song while making these movements. Well, I believe that'll be the end of the video today. I'm actually proud of myself for pulling all that off with this tripod in which I need to replace so I can, do some different functions with the new tripod and stuff. Well, I'm actually headed home. It is past 9:45 and it's chilly as fuck. Well, as the old saying goes, if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to share all your thoughts about this video, definitely put it in the comments. I love reading comments. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. And if you don't want to miss any of my new videos, please hit that notification bell so you never do that. Now I'm going to be heading home and I will see you in the next one. Sea Line out.